Dallas Cowboys 7-round mock draft. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this one, and we are going to take big swings in this mock draft. We're not going to think twice about half the things that we do, but we do have to honor the Cowboys' needs going into this draft. As described by PFF, we have a running back, wide receiver, guard, and edge rusher need. I'm not so sure about all of that, but I do think some skill positions, especially offensively, would benefit Dak Prescott. The reality is, I like Jalen Tolbert. Kevontae Turpin is a great gadget guy. He's a great returner. They need a number two. They need a true number two wide receiver, and they need a running back. Where they go, where they take a running back, that's a different story. I think there's a ton of depth in this draft. And as you look at our picks in this draft, we have pretty much at least one, in every single round. So we can be aggressive in trying to package and move up. Even number 12. If we like somebody on the board, I'm going to look at pick 5. I'm going to look at pick 8. If we like somebody on the board there, we're going to be aggressive in trying to trade up. I think there's 2 players you may know that I'm thinking of right now that I'm going to target. But the bottom line with the Dallas Cowboys, plus 800 to win the NFC East. This is on Pikkit. If you're not on Pikkit, there's a link in the description. Join with code LEADS. You get a few bucks to place on any future you want, any future. But I want to make sure we're all on the same page with this Dallas Cowboys team. Plus money for them to win 8 games, playing a third-place schedule. This team, as much as I don't like the Dallas Cowboys, criminally underrated. Criminally underrated. Have defensive playmakers. Offensive line is absolutely an issue. I'm going to put hands up. But if I had to sit here and tell you right now 5 future win futures I'm going to place for the over, the higher than, Dallas would be one of them. This, to me, is a 500-plus team, at least as the roster looks right now and with what we're going to do in the draft. So without further ado, let's get into this NFL draft. Again, we're going to take it very slow, these first couple picks. Once we hit pick 5, we are going to see who's on the board. Okay. Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, Mason Graham, and Travis Hunter all go. So this would be a spot we tried to trade up for Ashton Jeanty. The only issue is, as much as I love Ashton Jeanty and as much as I think he's the best running back in this draft class, this class is so deep at the running back position, I don't think we need to. There are other players like Tetairoa McMillan I really want, though. We're going to take this really, really slow right now. Let's see who the Jacksonville Jaguars take because I'm going to want to move up. So they take Ashton Jeanty there, so it makes sense, right? Now here's the thing. The Raiders may be even more inclined to take Tetairoa McMillan. And that worries me. What would it take to get up? I don't know. Do we really want to play that game? Do we really want to try to get up there? I don't think the Jets need a receiver, but I could see Carolina taking him. I could see New Orleans taking him. If we gave the Raiders 12 and 44 would obviously go through, 44 for 68 swap, that would still probably go through. That's interesting. Because I think 68, we still may be able to get a solid running back. I think what would have to happen, though, is we have to package 68 and probably 76 to move up and get a running back in the middle of the second. And that's what we're going to look at. But I'm going to propose this trade. I'd love to get a piece back. Can we get 222 back? What about 180, 143, 108? Let's see if this goes through. Okay, so that one didn't go through. I'm going to try one more time with this one. If it doesn't work, that's okay. So we're on the clock, and we're taking Tetairoa McMillan, not even thinking about it. We're moving up. That's great stuff. Okay, so we're going to move through this pretty fast just until we get to the end of the first round to see who's on the board, right? So we get some really good players that are going to be available for us in the early second. We'll pause it right here. So the first round is over. Looking at the receivers, running backs who are still on the board. Omarion Hampton is still on the board, right? So that's good. Omarion Hampton's still on the board. We're going to take it 10 picks at a time here because we're not going to trade up. Our next pick is 68. We're not trading up 30 spots to get a running back. Omarion Hampton goes off the board of the Browns. That is totally okay. I'm looking at guys like Quinshad Judkins. I'm looking at guys like Caleb Johnson, who's off the board, Cam Scatabo. I'm looking at guys like that. I think once we see like Travion Henderson, once we see one of those guys go off the board, I think it's probably time to look to move. So we're going to be on the clock in 20 picks. Once another one of those running backs goes, then we probably go. Try to trade up. So Judkins goes. Okay, the Packers are on the clock here at 54. And, I mean, if we were to give them 54 and 68, we would have to give them multiple picks here. If we gave them 108 from Vegas that we just acquired, we could get up there. If we gave them 149, it's not going to go through. What if we swap, though? 68 and 54 for 108 and 108 and 68. Let's see if that goes through. So that one's not going to work. Okay, figured. 198. That's not going to go through. 198. I would be okay taking 198 though. I would be okay with that. Here is the interesting thing though. I do almost want to look at this. So that's not going to go through, right? What would it take to get Jair? We'd have to trade our whole future. So this is how I want to think about it. What's it going to take to get Jair Alexander on our roster right now? 68 and 76, that would go through. Okay. 68 and 108 probably would go through. Now, if you want to add 54 into the fold, what's it going to take? Obviously, it's not going to go through. But 76, next year's second would go through. Next year's third would probably go through. Next year's fourth, no. What about these two? No. Interesting. So what about a third round swap? Not going to go through. A third and a fourth swap. So 54, we're mortgaging our second round picks right now for 54. We're getting some DB help alongside Trayvon Diggs. Do we really need Jair Alexander though? I don't know if we do. Maybe we take Jair Alexander out of the equation here. What would it take to move up? This would probably go through. This would probably not. Again, this swap, I'll try one more time with this. Not going to go through. Okay. 198, I would take that, though. I would be willing to move down with a pick we just got. What if we gave him 149 and 108 for 124? Not going to happen. I don't like that. This is probably what it has to be. And it's not going to go through. Okay, I would give him 247, too, if it means it pushes it through. Okay, we're on the clock here at pick 54, taking a running back. And, guys, the best player on the board, this is very interesting. It's between Cam Scatterbo and Travion Henderson. Now, Travion Henderson is a guy I think we already have on our roster. Already have the prototype on our roster. And Devontae Williams, if he's healthy. Cam Scatterbo would truly be the every down workhorse. And to me, that is absolutely fascinating. And I want that on my roster. So we're taking Cam Scatterbo right here as soon as this loads. We're taking Cam Scatterbo. We're going to be on the clock here in 20 picks again. Let me speed this up. I don't feel a need to try to trade up right now. We have so many picks throughout the rest of this draft. It's not even funny. But on the clock here, it is so like Jerry Jones to take a swing on Kevin Winston Jr. here. It is so like Jerry Jones to take a big swing on a safety right now. It really is. It really is. We need some guard help. We need some interior offensive line help. But it's so like Jerry Jones to take a big swing on a safety, and we're going to do it with Kevin Winston. We need some safety help to begin with. We're going to do it with Kevin Winston. We're going to be on the clock here. I'm going to skip forward a bunch. In 60 picks, but this is what our team looks like, our draft looked like so far. Tet McMillan, Cam Scatterbo, Kevin Winston Jr. I honestly am a pretty big fan so far. We have so many late round picks that we're going to have to package and try to move up a little bit. We're not going to take all 7 of these picks. We're on the clock again at 149. Ty Robinson is the best player on the board right now, I think. I know RJ Mickens is a good player too, but at the end of the day, again, we need interior offensive line help. Looking at the depth chart, like I would be more inclined to move to the right side than anything, to be honest with you. Robert Jones, Terrence Steele, that scares me a little bit, especially more than Guyton and Smith. But that is where we have to look. So right side offensive lineman, Luke Kandra is a primary right guard. He's been getting drafted around this spot, but Seth McLaughlin is the best player on the board, and he's primarily been a center, hasn't played on the outside. I don't think we try to get a center. I think we take the need here, and I think we go Luke Kandra. But here's the interesting thing. Like, you look at the best players available, there's some really good players. And to me, Luke Kandra will be there in probably 10 picks, right? Kyle Williams is a very good player. That would be a great depth piece, but we did just take Tet McMillan, and we have some rookies on the roster, so I don't think we go there. I think we go defensive line, and I think we shore up the run with Ty Robinson. To me, this is the best player on the board. I'm going to take Ty Robinson, but I am going to pause it right around here. We already traded with Green Bay, so they probably wouldn't trade again. But let's see again. Like, Luke Kandra went to pick after us. Okay, so there's no point in trying to trade right, at least for Luke Kandra. But I think we could probably – Carolina needs more picks, so I think they would be inclined to trade with us. If we gave them 239 and 211, 204, 198, they want 174. They want 174, and I'd give them a swap. I don't want to completely put myself in blind here. I'd give them a swap instead. So 239 for 230 swap won't, but 217? I mean, I'm fine doing that. That's moving through. We're on the clock at pick 163 again. It's just a swap to move up and be more aggressive in the interior offensive line world. And there are some other really good players like Connor Colby, who's also played on the left side and has played right tackle. So he has multiplicity in that sense as well. But again, that's a guy I don't want to, I'm not going to take the chance. He don't want to bank on somebody else being available. That's what we just did with Luke Kandra, and he wasn't. So we're going to be on the clock here. I'm going to pause it right around here. I'd love to move up, and they need picks. They need picks really bad. That swap wouldn't go through. What about this swap? That swap would not go through. But I'd like to move up again. Now we're on the clock at 186. RJ Mickens just keeps falling. And RJ Mickens is such a good player. This guy who plays in the slot, plays deep, plays in the box. Like, he is such a good player. Such a good player. But what does he do? Is he a sub-package guy? Where does he fit? That's the question. And Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins is a guy who can get after the quarterback. Demarion Overshown is not going to start the year. This would be a great sub-package third rusher. You also just lost Golston in the offseason. I think if we go Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins here, we're going to have 3 picks in the, or 2 in the 6th, technically, 1 in the 7th, but 3 picks in the 200s. RJ Mickens just keeps falling. To me, this is the best player on the board. You can't do this. You just can't keep doing it. Back on the clock at 207. Do we take some quarterback depth? Because at the end of the day, we have Joe Milton. I forgot the Cowboys traded for Joe Milton. I think right now, again, it's right side offensive line help. Looking at some of the tackles who are available. Jalen Travis is a pure left. Holland Pierce is he's played both. Xavier Truss has played. Look at Xavier Truss. He has played so many different positions. That's a good thing and a bad thing. But I think we take a chance with him. The only thing is he's been going a little bit later, and I think he may be there for us at 230. So I think we just go best player on the board here. I think we should probably go receiver. And Andrew Armstrong, a guy who is an absolute monster in the SEC, 1140 in terms of overall yardage. I think we take a chance on him, get some depth, and then we'll be on the clock here. I pray that Xavier Truss is still there for us. And it looks like he is, unless I missed him. Xavier Truss is there for us. We take a right side offensive lineman, a right tackle. We get some interior help. We get some help on the right side. I like this draft a lot. I think the Cowboys would move towards a better than 500 record with this roster. Tet McMillan at 6 and A+, Kevin Winston Jr. A+, Cam Scagabo A-, 2 A+ in the middle of the draft here after trades, and an overall draft grade of an A. I like this draft a lot. Again, you're getting starters in Tet McMillan, Cam Scagabo. Kevin Winston Jr. obviously is a question mark, but was the best player on the board, would be healthily, and Jerry Jones will take a chance on him. Ty Robinson, a very good player. Connor Colby, right guard. Xavier Truss, right tackle. Andrew Armstrong, a bigger, physically imposing guy who's played in the SEC. RJ Mickens, very good player, kept falling down the board. We couldn't say no. And then Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins, a great edge rusher, an athletic edge rusher. I personally like this draft for the Cowboys a lot. I think if Cowboys fans are watching this and you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like. But if you're walking out of the draft with Tet McMillan, Cam Scagabo, and Kevin Winston Jr. with the potential to come in and contribute even in year 1, I think you're in a great spot. I think there's a great draft for Dallas. I think Jerry Jones would be very happy for this. He's taking big swings. I like this. If you guys enjoyed this video, again, make sure to leave a like. I am doing a mock draft, 7 rounds for every single NFL team leading up to the NFL draft. There's a playlist below for all of those mock drafts. We're going to keep going up the list. We'll see you guys next time. God bless.